The best way to get an intense aerobic workout isn't to swim, but is to do what I refer to as aqua HIIT, high intensity interval training in the water, where you're not swimming in a horizontal way, but you're standing in a pool vertically. And I'll come back to that. But just in terms of swimming horizontally, why doesn't that work? Because you are suffering the same disadvantage of astronauts in space, orbiting the Earth in the space station. If they're up there long enough, they eventually lose some of their cardiorespiratory capacity because they don't have the advantage of gravity helping them remain fit in space. Even if they exercise, they don't have the advantage of gravity helping them with their exercise, because on land, when you exercise, your body is having to fight the impact of gravity, which wants to suck your blood down into your feet where it wants to pool until it sucks it up, circulates it to your heart, your brain, to other parts of your body. It has to fight gravity to do that. And when you're in space, you don't have that working for you. Even if you're trying to exercise, you don't have that additional boost of gravity. Like when you're swimming in a horizontal manner, your blood isn't pulling in your legs. It simply has to move it in a horizontal way, slide it from one part of the body to the other. It's not an effective way to exercise. I have found that even when I'm swimming with these for a kilometer, half an hour, I cannot get, despite how hard I pull with the paddles, how hard I kick, keeping my breathing efficient, I cannot get my heart rate up to an aerobic level because I don't have the advantage of gravity helping me with my workout. Unlike when I go and exercise in a small pool in water this deep, because by being vertical, I have gravity helping to boost my workout, which I don't have happening when I'm swimming horizontally. But more importantly, when I'm in water this deep, the water is squeezing my body, applying pressure to my skin. The further my body is immersed in water, the higher the water pressure is. The higher the pressure on my skin, the more my veins and arteries are being constricted, where my body has to work at pushing the blood through my circulatory system, and it has to work hard to pull it back up from the depths of the pool to my brain, to my lungs, to the other parts of my body. It has to work hard to do that. And if you track what you're doing with a fitness tracker, which is critical, if you're trying to do aqua HIIT, high intensity interval training, because you're not using the watch on this like is normally used with HIIT training, where you go for a fixed amount of time until you're exhausted, at which point you then rest and take advantage of EPOC, right? When you rest, your heart is still working hard under that HIIT regime, trying to reoxygenate and get oxygen back into your blood at a proper percentage. It's working hard. So I use my tracker to track what I refer to as my maximum target heart rate, which is based on the standard formula of 220 minus my age, means my maximum target heart rate is 153. But I have to give you a warning here that if you have a tracker and it's showing you that you have a fitness age which is older than your chronological age, you may want to establish that, as I use it, for identifying my maximum absolute heart rate, which is 220 minus my age, means I can go up to 163 versus 153. So when I hit my target, if I go over it, I have a bit of a buffer built in. And sometimes I go over. So it's good that I have a buffer built in, because I don't want to have a cardiovascular event. So for everyone, you may want to actually use, for your maximum absolute heart rate that you do not want to cross, a formula that uses your fitness age, not your chronological age, and talk to a doctor about what you should establish as your target heart rate, so you have a buffer between your maximum and your target. You can get a really amazing cardiovascular workout in a pool in water this deep, doing water aerobics. Simply run on the spot. And when I do that, I use my arms to also give me an upper body workout by using my arms in this way while I'm jogging. Or when I'm doing a variation of this, I use my arms in this way when I do a variation of this and do a side kick to use other muscles in my body. Or to use different muscles, I use my arms in this way when I do a jumping jack, jumping off the bottom, spreading my legs, doing a jumping jack. Or I use my arms in this way when I do a jackrabbit, which is to jump off the bottom of the pool. And when I get elevated off the bottom of the pool, I bring my knees up as high as I can to my chest. Or a high kick. While you're trying to do a high kick, get your toe as high up to the surfaces of the water as possible. And if you do those exercises like I do, as intensely as possible, even then, it takes me 18 minutes the last time I did this to get my heart rate up to my target heart heart rate, at which point I pause, take it down to 143, and then pick it back up. And within a minute, I'm back at my target heart rate, then needing to pause. After about 19 minutes, I was able to go through that regime of go maximum, pause, go maximum, pause, go maximum, pause. I was able to do that, hit my target heart rate 7 more times, 8 in total. I got an amazing workout. I burnt 260 calories doing that for half an hour, as opposed to a few days later, I only burned 170 calories. Yeah, so if you're trying to get fit as well as lose excess body fat, which is really critical, right? That's what I'll talk about in my next videos. Healthy way to lose excess body fat and keep it off by paying attention to what you eat, how you cook, and exercise. That's what is ultimately critical for living a healthy life. More on all of this later. Take care in the interim.